edition. The two Monday Night Football games. Neither of them that good edition. The Evan Cohen scheduled to appear like every Tuesday. What does the quote-unquote star of Unsportsmanlike have for us today edition? And you've heard Tausch talk about this. If you're going to bring a problem to him, have a solution. Have a point. Makes it so much more interesting for the listener. We're going to try and solve some problems today for your Green Bay Packers edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, all-customizable.
Spotify?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. All right.
Again, I know Pratik is trying to get this done for us. It seems, from what I can gather, that Spotify is the one that's not being super helpful. But I would just like an answer. What do we need to do? Do we need to play? Do I need to sing when we come back from commercials instead of using, actual musicians? What do we need? Because we need to get back on there, and we apologize. And all of the rest of our shows are on there. That's the part that I'm really confused by.
Yeah, it's very
We're just so incredibly popular that it's more problematic with us. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson working his way back from his mystery vacation to Orlando. So that leaves Hunter Vaughn as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs we believe in better in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, and from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I am over my shookness. I'm going to enjoy this bye week that the G&G have. And I thought Sean Payton, after his big win last night against the Bengals, the Bengals stink. Like, the Bengals, it's done. It's over.
It's a wrap,
Zach
city.
Taylor going to be deuces. And Zach he turned it around. He had a couple big playoff wins. Obviously got to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would be fun? If I'm Cincinnati and I'm Mike Brown, you know what I'm doing tomorrow?
You're cheapskating everyone.
Well, no, I think he's old now. He's got to be to the point where it's like, I think
it's his daughter.
Whatever.
His daughter's running things.
I think I call Nick Saban, and I say, Nick, you're an Ohio guy. Hold up a second. Don't get all poo-pooey.
I'm poo-pooing.
I say, Nick, you did it all, baby. You couldn't win in the NFL. You never had your quarterback. You can come in. I'm going to give you complete control. You're going to have an offense. You're going to have your quarterback. You get to get this defense right. You can come in like Ron Wolf and look around and see what you like, what you don't like. And if you want to be the head of football ops, you want to coach it, you take this thing over. Come help us not waste Joe Burrow's prime. You got this thing. Who says no?
Nick Saban.
Why? He is bored with the media stuff. You already kind of heard it a little bit. His wife. I think he wants to have the last hole in his resume. He doesn't need to do anything, just for the record. But you give him Joe Burrow, you give him Jamar Chase, and then you let him go to work? If I'm Cincinnati, I'm not even blinking. If he says no, great. But I am back-channeling today, and I'm saying, man, we're going to trade Trey. We're going to do some things. We're going to get you some draft picks, get you young players. Would you be interested? And I would bet he's not going to say no right away. I would do it if I was them.
So can I point out that the Bengals started the season 2-0, and then Joe Burrow got hurt. So Zach Taylor doesn't have Joe Burrow, and if Nick Saban took over tomorrow, he wouldn't have Joe Burrow. They're bad without Joe Burrow. No one is denying that. Jake Browning, that was not great, Bob. But he's Joe Burrow. When he plays, they're good.
I know. Well, they're not that. I mean, their defense stunk. So maybe it won't make any sense. That wasn't even my main point. You kind of I tangentized myself on why I'm not.
Tangentized myself. That's a new one. Put that on the list.
I'm not as shook because I think there's times we look at this, and this is such a week-to-week league, and I've kind of gotten into the rhythm of this job of you analyze what happened, you predict what's going to happen in the future. Sometimes there's red flags that come up that are very disturbing, and there are some red flags about this team.
Ooh.
Mainly, I hate to say this, the offensive line is the biggest red flag I have right now, and the fact that we're not creating turnovers. But I thought Sean Payton said something very interesting after they demolished Cincinnati last night. Every team in this league is still trying to figure out who they are, including us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we get caught up because it's a month. It's been a pretty good sample size already. Mm-hmm. And even though you think you know something, you don't really know a ton about these teams, including the G&G, until you get more of a sample size. So while I'm still incredibly shocked about what we saw Sunday night defensively, there is still a lot of season left, and I believe this defense is still really good. It just had some major flaws Sunday. I'm not going to overreact to the point I'm going to do this all bye week, while I'm still going to point out the flaws that I see that I believe need to get improved upon for this team to chase down a championship. We always think that these teams that win World Championships they got every box checked. And you know, when you really look at it, you probably need to be about 80% checked, and then you got to weather the 20% storm. If you can get an 80% box check and a 20% storm weathering, you can be a Super Bowl champion. And that's what I learned from my little day and a half deal. Yeah, let's go. What do you think?
To Sean Payton's point, after their 28-3 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals, the Bengals are 2-2, and the Broncos are 2-2.
So, Jason, agree, but let's be blunt about this.
Emily
not
Blunt? James Blunt?
Not all 2-2s are equal.
I understand.
Cincinnati, I'm going to tell you a little something about Cincinnati. It's over. It's over for them.
They're without their quarterback for
done.
3 months.
Yeah. That's part of the deal, old boy. Oh, boy. That's part of the deal.
Oh, bro?
Oh, boy.
Oh, bro. Yeah. We'll see if Bo Nix misses time, how brilliant. I'm sorry. I'm just not a Sean Payton guy. They're playing at home against a team without their quarterback. That defense is not great. 28-3, not a surprise. Also not surprising that the Miami Dolphins got on the board for the first time with a W, and the Jets, with their institutional ineptitude, are 0-4, and Aaron Glenn is having a closed-door meeting where he's screaming at his players and telling them how much they stink. Yeah, so my greater issue, and we can get into this coming up, I don't need 2 Monday night games. One is good.
I'm with you.
I like the idea of having it the first Monday where you have two, but again, these were like, hey, we need to find 2 games so we can put on the same Monday night, so we'll do these. Because there wasn't a lot of sex appeal, if you will.
See, I don't think that's fair because the NFL, unless they're this good at writing the script, they didn't know Joe Burrow was going to be hurt. And then you expect then the Broncos to keep doing what they did last year. So that was supposed to be a really good game, potential playoff matchup between
what
those
about
two.
the other one?
The other one, I don't know why the Jets are on national TV ever. The Dolphins, I don't think they were expected to be this bad. So that's where
They weren't
that one I
expected to
get.
be good, though.
No, they're I think
No,
500-ish
Hunter,
territory.
Hunter, I said the Dolphins would stink, and they
Okay,
have. But actually,
okay, great, but I think a lot of
the
people expect
Dolphins
them to be 500.
The Dolphins' schedule gets very soft, but again, the same thing. The other teams look at the Dolphins being soft too. This league has its way of figuring out who are the 80-20s going to be and who are the 30-50s, and the Packers are going to be an 80-20. The Packers will be an 80-20.
And what is the 30-50?
They're just
Which
not
adds
going
up
to
to
finish.
80.
They're not going to quite make it. They'll be 30-50, 10, 5, and 5, something like that.
Okay.
What?
I don't know. Did you want to explain that, or did
Well,
you
you
just
know
want
what?
to move
I
forward?
should have pounced when you misspoke yesterday. I should have pounced on you. I didn't.
No, I just don't.
And I'm
trying to
regretting.
understand.
I'm regretting
what
that I
the
didn't. Now that you
percentages.
did
You don't
that.
have to get upset, Tausch.
No.
No, you just started
It's a
throwing
pounce
numbers
on-
out there, and we didn't know what you're talking about.
That's all
Where's
we were
Riley
doing?
this morning? Is Riley around?
Okay.
Is Riley gone?
Did you get enough sleep last night? Are you cranky?
I'm not. I'm getting crankier as we're sitting here, but no, I got plenty of sleep last night.
We'll have less sleep. We'll be grumpy.
Yes, we're sitting
I am
here.
getting crankier. The bottom line on this is, I think obviously you lose your starting quarterback. We don't need 2 Monday night games every Monday night, and I know that's not going to be the case.
Correct.
If we're going to do this, let's keep cranking on that Sunday morning window, that European window. I like the European window. It's fun.
You are
That's
very
where we
European.
go. You get a little bottle of Bordeaux outside the European window. You sit there on your little deck or your whatever they call it over there, casieta, and you just sit and enjoy a Vikings Steelers and a Vikings. Put the Vikings over there for a month. Let them play the Sunday morning window game. That'd be fun.
And you can sit on your Venetian porch and look out your Pella window at the vistas of Europe while you're watching the Minnesota Vikings, all because of Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Last day of the month. Last day of the month. And when a customer chooses Pella, I think September has only got 30, right? Or they got 30?
Correct. No, 30 days.
Yeah, okay,
Half
good. I was
September.
All right.
April,
When a
June, and
customer
November.
chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers, they might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home, but when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Order up by the end of the month. You get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today. And today is the end. Get it moving. Terms and conditions do apply.
We'll see if we can keep irritating Tausch.
Oh, I bet you will. You're on a really good start to the day.
I'm pretty sure I heard a "Where's Riley" today at one point. So Hunter, be careful. Tread carefully. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. Mark Tauscher here, and new at Pizza Hut, 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, chicken bacon ranch, and Nashville hot chicken. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 handcrafted flats at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf, before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
Your seat at the table just got better. Step into the High Limit Room at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. This is true high-limit play. Premium table games tailored for discerning players. Better odds, faster play, and authentic action that sets Hard Rock Casino Rockford apart. Your next hand could be your best yet. Find your edge, play your rhythm, and raise the stakes in the High Limit Room at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
It's kickoff time at Metro Ford of Madison, and we're bringing the heat with unbeatable truck deals. Get the 2025 F-150 Lightning with 0% APR for 72 months, $13.89 per $1,000 borrowed, or tackle any job with the 2024 F-150 or F-150 XLT, now at 2.9 APR for 66 months, $16.41 per $1,000 borrowed. These offers end September 30th, so don't fumble your chance to save. Visit MetroFordofMadison.com and score your next truck today.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Getting ready to talk to Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. He'll come up at the bottom of the hour. So, Tausch, you were shook yesterday.
Yep, I was. Yep.
What has de-shookified you to the degree that, is it just time? Time heals all shookedness? What exactly has changed in the last 24 hours?
Sunlight. Went out and got great sunlight.
Golfing?
Got some perspective in the world. And then I think it's just time. Yeah, I think you watch this stuff, and especially for what we do. I mean, we put a lot of time in. We study this. We talk about it. We get opinions, and then we form our own. At least I form my own opinions. And you can be, you can be wrong, and then you can be shellackingly wrong. And when you're shellackingly wrong, it will shake you. And then you look at it and you say, well, okay, what's the next step in this whole process? And the process is it's a long season. And, when Green Bay would lose 38-3 against the Saints to open the season or, get beat badly by Seattle, those things happen. Road games are always tricky in the NFL. But when you get preconceived notions about teams, especially with the lack of preseason play and it still being the month of September, you have to check yourself. And that's kind of where I'm at with kind of the evaluation and what I'm seeing. It's not the world being the Packers defense stinks. Is it eye-opening and you start questioning more things? For me, absolutely. So I think when you combine the time and sunlight and beautiful weather and, all of those things, that is what kind of unshookified me. And now it's, okay, we got 12 days, whatever it is, before the Cincinnati Bengals come in. And Cincinnati, and I think watching Cincinnati, it's early, but I would think should be a pretty good little recipe for the Jeff Hafley soup that he's going to concoct to be pretty doggone good in about 12 days. So all of those things kind of quantified to make me unshook, if that makes sense.
So I understand that this is not scientific by any means. It is not. I can't say that there's any accuracy to what I'm about to say. But is it possible they just, like Alexander, had the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day? Famous childhood book of mine, one of my favorites. Is it possible that their defense just had a bad day where they couldn't do anything right and they couldn't tackle and they didn't rally to the ball the way they have and they still can't get a turnover? 4 games, 2 interceptions, 0 fumbles forced. Rashawn Gary, who had done such a fantastic job of taking advantage of Micah Parsons' presence, gets donutted. LVN doesn't record a statistic
not great.
other than snap counts. Is it possible that it just wasn't their day and they're not nearly as bad as they appeared, but we have to at least pause and say, well, they're not as good as we were crowning them to be either. I'm trying to think of a time, and maybe you can think of a game where you guys on offense during your playing career just didn't have it. We just don't have it today, right? Like, I remember the opening of the Mike McCarthy era, you guys lost 26-0. But that wasn't, we didn't have it that day.
That was we don't know what we're
doing.
That was
right.
That was bad.
So do you remember a game when things were going well overall and you just showed up and stunk?
Oh, no. I don't ever – that's what's so jarring. Listen, man, there are times we got our breaks beat in. Obviously, that 4-12 season, we got our breaks beat in
frequently
from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the course of it, I mean, the playoff game against the Rams, that was just one of those days where, is anybody shocked that we threw 6 picks? No, I mean, that happens. With Brett, you knew that was a possibility because as you start falling behind, you're going to press a little bit, and sometimes that stuff goes. So this is a very humbling game. The sport of NFL and college, you have, and this line is always great, those guys are on scholarship too, those guys get paid too. You never go into a game thinking that, but there are times that you just get got. And when you get got, it's what are you going to do about getting got? And typically the answer is you bow up and you come back. You got maybe a little more fire in your belly, and you don't have a bunch of folks that are, getting after you about that. And when that happens as pros, that's why guys are always looking for these slights. That's why this job, when we slight people, I actually think people should be saying thank you, not the players. And I'm very cautious of that because, I lived it. But guys take this stuff to heart because you're always needing to keep putting coal or wood or whatever burns your fire you can't let the embers go out. And I think maybe there was a little ember going out down in Dallas. I think they thought that they could just smoke the barbecue with whatever. You need to keep putting the timber. You need to keep putting those out. You got to keep the embers hot. If you don't in the NFL, you end up with cold, stale, crappy barbecue, and you end up tying a team you should beat in a big way. And that's kind of, I think, what happened on Sunday.
Is that what happened when you were smoking that brisket and it ended up chewy? Did you not put in enough timbers?
No, what we did is we uncovered the brisket too quickly, and it got a little rubbery, and you can't go back. That was nothing to do with. I think we did smoke it. Yeah, we pulled it off the smoker too soon. So you combine those two things, you end up with a rubbery brisket. This is more, I'm talking like a pork shoulder, which any idiot can go barbecue a pork shoulder. That's easy. You could do that. No offense. But you throw that, but you still have to keep the embers hot. And in a 17-game NFL season, it is very difficult to keep, like the first game, you had an inferno of embers. Second game, it was so quick, you maybe didn't have an inferno, but you had a strong based ember. And then Cleveland, you only had half an ember. The offensive ember stayed back. They went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then I thought on Sunday, the embers they flickered. It was a flickering. You never got it to poof. And that's why you ended up where you did. My guess, by Sunday of next week, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of heat coming out them embers. That's my guess.
Half the embers went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well, do you think the offense and special team embers showed up?
I didn't know that
in Cleveland?
I didn't. Yeah, but like now I got these little pictures of like these little pieces of coal walking down the street, going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to see the displays. Hunter, do me a favor and save for our next promo of the show. Any idiots can smoke a pork shoulder.
Yep.
Even you. No offense. Sounds like a perfect promo for Wilde and Tausch. That was a ride.
When's the last time you smoked some meat?
I've never smoked any meat. I don't have a smoker. I don't want to smoke meat. I don't have a bunch of meat
your family
eaters in
doesn't
my
eat
house.
a lot of meat. Yeah. Well, you can smoke veggies.
Smoked meat is delicious. It's probably the best way to eat meat. I think you need to get on the smoking meat train, Jason.
Hey, Hunter's
no one else
back.
is eating it.
Hey, you know what? I'm not even asking where Riley is anymore after Hunter just interjected. Hunter's right. Smoked meat's good meat.
We need to get ready for Evan Cohen. Before we do that, Tausch is great at smoking meat.
So what is Paula? Does she like smoked cauliflower? Like, is she? Because what's the normal meal right now if the kids don't have anything, and she's saying we're not going to go out to eat? What are y'all making when you have veggies? When it's such a veggie heavy family?
So
give me a taste.
First of all, so you can put vegetables in a smoker?
You can smoke anything. You can smoke everything. Yeah.
I don't know if we're doing cauliflower. Apparently you go to a pellet grill and you can smoke your vegetables. I'm learning here on the Google machine. I don't know. Very rarely do we have a night where the girls don't have something. This is the life we've chosen to lead. The girls love it. We love it, but we tend to be eating on the wrong.
Well, you still have to eat. Do you not?
We do, but and while some of the places that we go to have ice cream, I don't think any of them have.
Oh, so you eat out every night? You're eating out every night.
We tend to grab something after practice that they can eat in the car, so they can get home and go to bed and get their requisite sleep. That's kind of our MO. Yeah,
fair enough.
Just like your MO is to win.
Boy, that ember, I ain't gonna lie to you, that ember died out quick. Trying to talk veggie smoking and that ember.
Because a lot of people
that was the offense.
A lot of people wanted to talk.
That was the offense
smoking.
in Cleveland. We had the Cleveland offense ember on that conversation right there.
How did the embers burn on PrizePicks for you?
Oh, Ember. I told you yesterday. What a day! Great day on PrizePicks. Football season is here, and I've got to tell you, PrizePicks, they just make the games more fun to watch for me. And I bet for you too. PrizePicks is daily fantasy made simple. More or less. I went more on Matthew Golden. And boy, he made me sweat a little bit. Big play right out of the gates. Luckily, him and Wicks run the same route, which doesn't make a ton of sense to us. Goldie says, no, I'm going to go grab that. Gets 46-47, right out of the gates. Then they throw a 7-yard pass behind the line of scrimmage. He gets drilled, and he goes under the number 42. But luckily, the big fourth down, he gets back more, and old T cashed a nice one. It's quick and easy. Set your lineup less than a minute. The option to stack single players across different stat lines. You can play it safe with flex play. You want the big payout? Go with the power play. Withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure with Apple Pay, Venmo, and more. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use that code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code WI for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, it is good to be right.
Evan Cohen scheduled to appear next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
What's new at Zimbrick Chevrolet? A lot. A free car wash with every service, plus a brand new detail facility to keep your ride looking fresh all year long. Relax with coffee and snacks while you wait, and if you can't, grab one of their numerous service loaners, take the shuttle, or even get a lift on them. Plus, Zimbrick Chevrolet has the largest new Chevrolet inventory in southern Wisconsin, and you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
At Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction, you won't have to worry about your old lawnmower pulling a hamstring. They make buying and selling easy. Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction is simple, reliable, and unlike your fantasy team this football season, they'll actually deliver. Have equipment taking up space? Let them be your surplus solution. You send it in, they list it, people bid, and you actually win. Bid, buy, sell, and score big today at WisconsinSurplus.com. Because winning isn't just for game day. WisconsinSurplus.com.
Electric bills are out of control, but with federal incentives, you can go solar with zero upfront cost and start saving hundreds a month. Badgerland Exteriors and Solar is a local and family-owned company, and they make the switch to solar simple. No pressure, no hassle, just honest.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Greg Scalzo here for Buckin' Honeys. This fall, Buckin' Honeys is celebrating their 15-year anniversary with 15 days of giveaways. From October 6th through the 20th, they're giving away a huge prize to one lucky winner every single day. Buckin' Honeys is beyond grateful for their loyal guests and the amazing team who've supported them over the years, and it's time to give back. Enter at any of their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb, and follow them on social media for more ways to sign up. I'll see you at Buckin' Honeys.
The people have spoken, and the results are undeniable. Ridgetop Exteriors delivers. We swept the People's Choice Awards. Best roofing, best siding, best windows, and best overall home improvement company. That's not just winning, that's setting the standard with expert craftsmanship, top materials, and service that keeps homeowners coming back. 4 categories, 4 wins, 1 name. Ridgetop Exteriors, your only choice for home exteriors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com and experience the difference today.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Well, you and I, we make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you can cash in. PrizePicks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. PrizePicks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. PrizePicks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, PrizePicks won't count it as a loss. PrizePicks is the best way to cash in this football season. Which players are going to go off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the app, use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right.
When you're having computer problems, you need a company you trust to get things working again, quickly and affordably. Madison Computer Works has been doing that for business and residential customers for decades. Our computer care plans take away the hassle of being without your computer or needing to bring it in for repair. Starting at only $10 a month, our local and friendly techs provide remote help and can fix most problems in just minutes. Call 608-231-8000 and sign up today. Madison Computer Works, computers that work for you.
We're on the Badgers.
First losing season in over 20 years. You missed a bowl game. You ended the streak.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
And what do we see today? The exact same thing. Nothing has changed.
This is 100.5 ESPN.
I'm throwing caution. What's it gonna be? Tonight the winds of change are blowing wild and free. If I don't get out of this town, I just might be the one who finally burns it down. I'm throwing caution. I'm throwing caution.
You know what that music means? From Unsportsmanlike. It's time for Evan Cohen on Wilde and Tausch. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Morning, guys. How we doing?
So, from a national perspective, which you deliver for us every Tuesday at 9:30 Central Time, you have to obviously be knowledgeable, you and Smalls and Canty, about all the teams. Unlike us, we're focused on the Packers all the time, and then whatever. What were we? We had Embers that were going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame earlier. We'll have to explain that later. But you have to be on top of all these teams, right? You guys are talking about all the teams. How are you talking about the Packers now after 1 minute we're putting them in the tier on Unsportsmanlike of Super Bowl contender and top team in the NFC? Then they lose to the Browns. Now they tie the Cowboys. Tausch was riding the wave yesterday. He was down. He was shook. How do you present them to your audience when you're talking about them right now?
So it's much easier with them than it is other teams because it's a very simple question. The three of us, Michelle, Chris, and I, were in the building against the Commanders. And so I just have to simply ask the question of what happened? How did they go from that to this? Because these results don't make much sense based on the team that we saw against the Commanders. So it's more, for me, my questioning and curiosity of how do I walk out of that building that night thinking that team looks unstoppable to, wait, they lost to the Browns and then followed that up with a tie against the Cowboys? Like, that really happened? So it's more out of curiosity and intrigue than it is knowing everything that's going on. We talked about it where they overhyped, right? We discussed that on Wilde and Tausch. We also discussed how after that game against the Commanders, one of the coolest things was that Jordan Love could have a lot of improvements because he missed throws, and then he has the interception against the Browns. And the other thing is that Tausch got it through my head, and I think rightfully so at the time, of no big deal, loss against the Browns actually could help you. And then I know Tausch on Sunday during the postgame said, no, now I have to be worried about this team. So you've kind of gone through the emotional roller coaster, but more out of curiosity as to what has gone wrong.
Yeah, I couldn't envision what we saw with an offense that didn't have their best wideout and two of their best linemen. I just never envisioned this defense, even though I think Dak is a really good quarterback, I never envisioned them looking so helpless to get a stop in the third and fourth quarter. I never thought that was going to happen, and it does make you think, how dominant is this defense and how good are they if that is allowed? And then you start thinking, and you guys played an interesting clip on your show this morning about Sean Payton saying every team at this point is still trying to figure out who they are, and even though we're a quarter of the season done, and you're 4 games in, and you have a good sample size, you think it doesn't. How many times do you recall any team that struggled in September, they can still get it right and get moving to win a championship, and that about all of these teams have about 80% of the box checked, and there's going to be 20% that isn't. The idea of super teams and teams that are just going to dominate and steamroll through people, it's just not as pertinent in today's NFL, and that's kind of where I've gotten to after the last day and a half.
Yeah, and a lot of times the teams that have stinky starts that still do well are the teams that already have the money in the bank. You know, Coach Belichick would always talk about the idea that the season doesn't really start until after Thanksgiving. And Andy Reid has kind of said the same thing. Yeah, those two teams can say that because they have a million titles, right? A team that has never won it should not be thinking it, never won it with this group, should not be thinking about that way. But let me ask you one other question, because this is something I think we're going to dive into a little bit tomorrow, but is it on the table, and I cannot believe I'm asking this question, is it on the table that the Packers missed the playoffs?
No.
Not on the table at all?
No.
Okay. Is it on the table that they're one and done in the playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you could put that on the table. You could put that with pretty much everybody.
Okay. So is it on the table that the Cowboys could actually win the trade this year?
Well, let me ask you this. If they don't win a championship with Micah Parsons, was that trade worth it?
Not just this year, like in the next 3-year window,
No,
you mean?
Yeah, you got he signed a 4-year deal, right?
Yeah.
So you got 5 years. You really have 5 years with him. If you don't win a championship in those 5 years, I still think it's probably worth it because you took the swing, and as long as he stays healthy and is playing, I'm going to still say yes, but I can understand why some would say no.
Right. So I think the answer is you still make the deal. Here's why I asked that. In essence, what's happening now is what should have happened at the time of the trade. None of us did it because at the time of the trade, we're all just saying, "Oh my God, the Packers got Micah Parsons."
Yeah.
And we looked at it only from the viewpoint of the Packers won the trade, they got him, Super Bowl or bust, et cetera, et cetera. Most of us did not take a step back and say, well, how can the Cowboys win this deal? How can the Packers win this deal? How can both win this deal? And I think now, because of the rocky last 2 games of the Packers, which I don't expect to last, but we're having the conversation we probably should have had then, which is maybe the Cowboys knew what they were doing to some extent. One of the weirdest parts about Micah Parsons as a player is he's always been great, his teams have always won, and yet they've never won enough. And you wonder if this year lands with that same label as every other year in his career. Now, he had a great coach in my opinion, in McCarthy. I think he's got a great coach now. So you can't just blame coaching. And I'm not blaming Micah. It is interesting that he's like, for the most part, double-digit wins, playoffs, no big picture team success to think of or to talk about. Just an interesting kind of career arc that you've had at this point from him.
Yeah, I never thought that the acquisition guaranteed them a title, and I know that's not what you're saying, but they did. I do feel like they needed to take a big swing.
Yep.
Given all the kind of, Ed policy saying he wasn't going to extend them and he doesn't want lame ducks. Like that was his not so subtle way of saying, hey, make something happen here. And they did, and now we'll see. Ultimately, they'll be judged on that and how well Jordan Love plays, and if this grand experiment of being so young. Look, they have a bunch of young guys still, but they are way more experienced. But this is the 3rd year in a row that they had the youngest roster in the NFL on opening day. They believe in the idea that you live through growing pains, and then in the second half of the season, some might say after Thanksgiving, you suddenly have a much better team because they've gone through that and now they've come out on the other side. I don't know if that'll prove to be true, but that's what they think.
Jason, I've gotten the feeling, correct me if I'm wrong, I've gotten the feeling that either you don't love this team, you think they're overrated, they're too booty-based. I've gotten the feeling and talked to you every week that this team, for whatever reason, is not your favorite. Am I right about that?
Well, no, I think the issue is that I feel like we've been doing a lot of premature crowning, and then it's hard to walk that back when you have proclaimed. So like the Jordan Love piece. Like, Jordan Love was fantastic on Sunday night, with the exception of he and the rest of the offensive players and Matt LaFleur lollygagging in the final 30 seconds after Emmanuel Wilson is tackled in bounds. That was a critical error by everyone involved, including the quarterback. But beyond that, I mean, he knew he had a free play for 12 men on the field on the play that he threw the pick on. I thought he was great.
But, Jason, you know what? Why not fire that? You know that. Throw the ball down the field. Don't throw an 8-yard out.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that you can't
just
say.
whip it down. You know that. Whip it down the field.
But is there partially I told you so from you?
No, I agree with Bill Belichick and Andy Reid, and with Sean Payton.
But then there is an I told you so, because every week I come on here and I'm thrilled and fortunate to do it, and every other Packers fan, which you're not, and every other Packers media member, which you are, has very much not only glass half full, glass overflowing. And I feel like whether there's parts of the team or people or circumstances or hype, I've just never gotten the sense that this year's Packers team, maybe how they were built, maybe crowning Love in a way that, Rodgers and Favre weren't crowned without doing this much. I just have never gotten the sense that you believe in it like everyone else does, and you may be right. So I ask you, is there a little bit of an I told you so over the last 2 weeks?
No,
I don't think you love this team.
Yeah, it's not an I told you so. It's, in the words of the great American songwriter Taylor Swift, you need to calm down. You're being too loud. Like, there were proclamations at 2-0, and again, I go back to what Xavier McKinney told me last Thursday. We got guys walking around here thinking they won the Super Bowl because we're 2-0. That's not how this works. So I feel like fans were the same way. And look, even I got swept up in it a little bit. It's like we're making jokes about how, when Jeff Hafley enters a store, he doesn't hold the door for the person behind him. We're trying to come up with all these reasons why he's a jerk. You don't want to hire him as your head coach. He should really have to be stuck here for another year. And then they have the performance that they did against a CD Lambless and missing 2 starting offensive linemen Dallas team, right? So I am always, and you've heard me say this, I'm always putting my thumb on the scale. So if we're too high on one side, I'm pushing that down. Oh, they're 2-0. They're going to the Super Bowl. Homer proclaiming the division is over, etc. I'm going to push. Now, I'm looking at this going, look, they didn't suddenly overnight become a bad team. Like, they struggled
offensively. No, you're the ultimate hedger is what you are.
Because I'm not
the hedge guy.
I don't see the future. And I think you have to live in the present with.
Is that confirmed? Can we have Hunter confirm that Jason doesn't see the future? I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Jason, you're allowed to say "I told you so." Just say it.
No, because they could turn out to be as good as you walked out of Lambeau Field thinking they were.
Right.
Right? Like in 1996, which I know is, as Homer would call it now, Old Testament. But I remember that team losing back-to-back games, and then for the first half of a game against the then St. Louis Rams, Michelle Smallman's team, she was just a little tyke back then, but they're struggling against a very bad Rams team. And then Doug Evans has an interception, and it flips everything, and I don't think they lost again that year. But that was a great team that had 2.5 games of putrid performances. So maybe the Packers of 2025 are not that great, but really good. And they've had one really clunker of an offensive game against Cleveland and a meltdown in the last minute. And then they had a really good offensive game with a horrendous defensive and special teams performance again against Dallas. And now they're going to come out after their bye week and they're going to rattle off 7 straight wins. I can see that happening.
Tausch, is Jason's evoking of the name Doug Evans and I told you so?
It sort of is, yeah. I think it sort of is. Yeah, Jason, for whatever reason.
I think when you go Doug Evans, it's I told you so.
You bring up Doug and you bring up that. And every team, and I guess my point on the 80-20 is every team is going to have some flaws. There's just, when you're spending the money you have and you have injuries, it's up to you and your coaches to figure out how do we, and that's what Belichick did so well, is he always played to his guys' strengths and tried to not allow them to play to their weaknesses, and he forced other teams to not play to their strengths and find that's the key, and that's why he, along with Tom Brady and other things, had so much success. But Jason, he jumped in with the Micah deal, and then I think as the season started and it looked as if, oh, baby, he wanted to make sure to hedge in case this thing went this way, which it has. But for whatever reason, someone that takes more attaboys covertly, he doesn't want to take an attaboy now. And that doesn't make a ton of sense.
Matthew in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube chat says something that I think the three of us should discuss. Because I just heard Evan Cohen say that, Micah Parsons had a great coach in Dallas in Mike McCarthy, and you think he's got a great coach in Matt LaFleur. Matthew in the YouTube comments, this team with Matt LaFleur will not win a championship. He's a terrible head coach, a great offensive coordinator. I feel
I don't actually think he was a great offensive coordinator, so I think he's a better head coach than he is offensive coordinator, actually.
And I'm just wondering, do we feel like this is something that is prevalent among Packers fans that are, because they were frustrated with him, no doubt about it, and the way they slow played the final minute. And Tausch, you made a great point about them being afraid that they were going to leave Brandon Aubrey enough time to kick a 70-yard game-winning field goal. Do we sense that? Which he can do, no doubt. Do we sense that this is how Packers fans, a portion of the fan base, is looking at him that way too?
So, Jason, right now, Packer fans, because of how that game played, and you have a 2-week window, Packer fans are really down on Matt LaFleur. They're down on his clock management. They're down on the fact that he's kept the special teams coach around that has not gotten the special teams any better, and that's where they're at. But the Matt LaFleur component to this, I think, there's still a lot to be written about how he's going to handle this football team, and if this offense can play like it did against a bad defense, by the way, not like they did against Cleveland.
Right.
I don't think any of us know. I know this. I feel a heck of a lot more confident that this defense is going to play more like it did the first 3 weeks than I feel like the offense is going to play like it did against Dallas.
Now that's a good
I do
take.
feel.
So guys, let's work in extremes on something. I'm going to give you 2 options, and I want you guys to speak for Packers fans' feelings right now. So here are your 2 options. You could snap your fingers and change one of your coach, quarterback, or GM right now. Or if you choose not to snap your fingers, you're locked into all 3 of them for the next 5 years. What path are you taking?
I'm not snapping my fingers.
You're saying, I'm good to go with these 3 next 5 years. I believe it can work out.
Yes, I do.
And you think
I believe during the I think Jordan Love is a good quarterback. I still think he has to there are just some things that he has to experience and grow. Yes, he's been in the league 6 years. He started for 2 and some change now. The decision to throw that football on a Charlie check down with no timeouts can't happen. He has to learn from that, and he will. I think that's the next evolution of his game. I believe him and Matt LaFleur are going to be very successful on the offensive end of it, and I think the fact that he's got Jeff Hafley as his guy, and you know where I stand with Goody, so yeah, it's great. You can complain and say that there were mistakes made, and no doubt about it, but go ahead and look around, and I always am saying, if you think there's a problem, great. What is the solution? Who are you bringing in?
That's right.
You getting Nick Saban?
I agree with you.
You going to pull
I
Nick
agree with
Saban? All right.
We need.
By the way,
you need to run that
quick
by
question
Evan.
for you. I said this. Jason didn't think this was a good idea. If I'm Mike Brown and whatever, I don't know his daughter's name that is running the team. If I'm the Bengals, I call Nick Saban today, and I say, Nick, I know you're having fun with McAfee and the boys on game day. I also heard rumors that in the beginning of this that you kind of got that itch to get back into coaching. You don't yet. Your NFL career was marred by a bad decision on getting the quarterback right. Hey, we got your quarterback. We got your wideouts. We need you to fix this defense in the O-line, which is your specialty. Come help us in Cincy. Get your last pelt on the wall and get us a championship. You'll have full authority to do what you want. Why would that not be a great idea?
It is a great idea. I would do that in 2 seconds if I'm Cincinnati.
What about if you're Nick?
That's it. I think it's got to be intriguing. Here's the thing. I don't know that the quarterback is as fail-proof as you're portraying because you're portraying health. I don't know that we can do that with this quarterback at this point, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I think conceptually, if you tell me he's 100% good to go, then yeah. Here's the only question I would have also if I'm Nick. Not only, I'd have many questions. So, what happens if Buffalo doesn't get to the AFC Championship game this year? Because
I think they get rid
that's
of
the
McDermott.
job. Well, McDermott feels like the guy he worked for many years, and Andy Reid, one of these almost, very next day he should get hired, but maybe it's just not going to work out there. I think you would have people lining up for that job. I think you could make the argument that that would be the most coveted job in the NFL because of the fact you have a can't-miss quarterback and you're not following an icon. You know, like you could say, oh, the Chiefs' job would be the job. Is it? Do you want to really follow Andy Reid there? Like, are you sure about that? Oh, the Rams' job would be amazing. They love McVay, right? Like, I think that the Bills' job, if that ever became available, is the one that Saban and Belichick should fight for that job. And Belichick's not going to get it at this point, but you get my point, right? Like, that's the one that I would always hold out hope for if I was a
Why do
coach
you say
at that
Belichick
level.
won't get it? Is it because of his girlfriend?
Well, maybe that I shouldn't have said it that way. I would hire him in 2 seconds if I was Buffalo or Cincinnati and he wanted in, because I think the assumption that he wouldn't be good at the NFL is laughable, because he's never not been. Put him with a quarterback and he's going to be great, right?
He doesn't have Tom Brady. He hadn't been a good NFL coach. Those are just the facts.
Yeah, I think that's situational how you choose to portray that, but okay. Because I think he was pretty damn good in the first year. Yeah, I think he was good with the first year with Mac, and I think if Cam doesn't get COVID that first year, they're in the playoffs, and he made it to the playoffs with the Browns. But we can.
Well,
that's
ifs
not
and
for
buts
tonight.
are candy and nuts. Am I right?
No. So, yeah, I think it's in general, yes, it's a good idea.
All right, so Evco, before we let you go, where do you have Green Bay? I saw Canty's rankings; they're not in the top 5. You still think this is a Super Bowl contender? You're not writing this group off, and where do you have Green Bay right now in the hierarchy in the NFC?
Yeah, it's weird. If you were to do like the college football type rankings and go based on resume, they beat the Lions, but I put them behind the Lions, right? Like it's very odd. Like I don't know how. I don't get it. But Eagles are above them, Lions are above them, Rams are probably above them, and Bucks are probably above them, right? They're probably the 5th best team in the NFC right now. Am I wrong on that?
I'm not putting Tampa ahead of them. No way.
If you're ranking it based on how they're playing right now and the 2 performances they've put together, I think you do have to put Tampa ahead of them.
Buccaneers were down 31-6
against the
mad
defending
scramble to get
Super
back.
Bowl champs, not against a Dallas Cowboys team that was missing.
You understand, Dallas? If CeeDee Lamb could catch the ball, Dallas beats Philly on opening night. Do we forget about that?
Yeah, no, we did not. We talked about that yesterday.
Okay, well, let's not forget about that.
And if they had an edge rusher, they'd win games too.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good drop in. Well done, Hunter. That was
One
good.
other thing. I'm very bummed about something. I understand it, but I'm bummed about it. Well, I love Kirk Penny, and I am bummed as a Badger. Now, he's going back to be with his family, but having dinner with him, no big deal. Like Tausch and I did a couple of weeks ago, you sat there, and you're just like, oh, my God, where can I hire this guy to run my program? He's unbelievable. He's brilliant in basketball mind. He's kind. And like, he's got to do what's best for his family. But, when I saw that news last night, I was bummed that he has, for family reasons, has to leave the program right now. That stinks. And one would have to wonder, did Tausch and I drive him out? One dinner with us, and now he's moving to New Zealand. I mean,
yeah.
So is this like a season 3 of Ted Lasso thing where he decides to go back to Kansas City? This is the same deal. He wanted to go home. He missed being at home.
I don't want to spread any rumors, Jason, but the fact that Evan left before we all left, I think maybe was like, I don't know how committed. Evan is one of the biggest Badger supporters we have, and the fact that he couldn't stay at Tornado until 11:30 plus maybe showed
I was
Kirk
there
that
at
maybe
7 o'clock.
Evan, I'm just saying, maybe he is saying, how committed is this fan base? Here we have somebody that loves basketball. His son is an AAU guy, loves the game, and he couldn't stay to hang in a time when you know he's not going to see him for a while, and all of a sudden 2 weeks later that trickle effect goes. I'm not saying, but I'm not saying, if that makes any sense.
If we find out today that Matt LePay is going to move to Australia, we're just driving everybody out.
That will be
LePay is moving to Australia. He got in the Hall of Fame. He had somebody induct him who he doesn't know, and now he's moving to Australia. And Jesse not here today? Any chance that Jesse is already meeting with McIntosh about the play-by-play job now that we know LePay has moved
You're really
Australia?
driving a lot of no, Jesse's trapped. I don't think he has a flight home. I think that's where he is.
That would be a questionable hire, but there's been a few of those in recent years.
Wow,
Evan?
Jason, that's the most opinionated I've ever heard Jason Wilde.
Yeah, he has got strong opinions on
very
some,
strong
on
opinions.
some things.
My opinion of this segment is that it's over. Thanks, Evan. We appreciate you.
That sounds like a fact. All right, bye.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. We still have one portion of the 9 o'clock hour to finish off. We'll do that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Wisconsin's current struggles leaving the fan base questioning its long-term effects. Despite its recent slide, ESPN's Adam Rittenberg on why UW has and will still be a prime destination for coaches.
I think there's a lot of respect for the history that Barry has created there, and I think a lot of coaches are going to look at that as a place, man, I just need to get this thing back to its identity. I need to reconnect with the state of Wisconsin and the alumni in ways that maybe this staff has not connected as well as they could have, and I think it's going to be super appealing.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
At J&K Security Solutions, protecting your home or business is more than just the priority. It's what we do. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. Since 1987, J&K Security Solutions has been committed to providing Madison and southern Wisconsin with dependable security solutions. Whether it's security, fire, or the latest automation solutions, go to jksecurity.com to see how J&K can help keep your home or business secure. Get protected now at jksecurity.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
It's the best time of the year, and you know what that means for me. It's tailgating season. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. For my friends at Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. If you're in Madison tailgating before a game, there's only one thing to do to elevate your experience, and that's bring it with Door County Distillery. Whether that's the cherry brandy for your old-fashioned, the single malt whiskey, or any of the gins, vodkas, and in-betweens, Door County Distillery has you covered. Find the retailer nearest you at doorcountydistillery.com.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common: GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's top prospect camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Thanks to Evan Cohen. You can hear him every weekday across ESPN Wisconsin and across ESPN Radio and on your television on Unsportsmanlike. Jim H. in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments. Buffalo and Philadelphia are the only undefeated teams, and Green Bay is better than both of them. Agree or disagree?
Wow. Right now they're not. But do I fear either of those teams in a matchup? Not even a little bit. But, no, you have to. This is like when you get into college football rankings and things. Yeah, you can have ideas of who's a blue blood, who's not. You have to go off of what happens on the field. And right now, Buffalo has probably played the most consistent football of any team. And then Philadelphia is probably second. Green Bay has probably, at its peak, looked the best. But they've also looked bad. Like, offensively, brutal in Cleveland. Defensively, brutal in Dallas. And it's one thing if you find a way to win those games. We are 0-1-1 in those games. And if the results don't matter as far as all that goes, what are we doing? But I will agree that, or I guess I'm not agreeing. I'm going to state my case and say I don't think this Packer team feels intimidated against anybody, and they will match up and play anybody anywhere, and I think they'll be in a good position to win. I'd prefer it be at Lambeau because this team, through 4 weeks, again, small sample size, awesome at home, uber inconsistent on the road. That's what we've seen for 4 weeks.
I want to get into that a little bit further during the 10 o'clock hour when we're also going to try and solve some other issues because Tausch is always solutions-based. All right? Don't just complain about it. What are you going to do to fix it? We're going to try and help them do that during the 10 o'clock hour after I tell you to make sure you tune in to Behind the Bucks. That podcast can be found on Bucks Plus, on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks brings you exclusive access and untold stories about the greatest stars and moments in Bucks history. Find Behind the Bucks on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify. Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher. 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here, and your seat at the table just got better at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Return to Hard Rock Casino Rockford's high-limit room, where the odds are in your favor. With enhanced game rules, including blackjack, where the dealer stands on soft 17, you'll enjoy better odds, faster play, and the kind of authentic high-limit action that sets Hard Rock Casino Rockford apart. Visit the high-limit room and rediscover your game on your terms, in your rhythm, and with your edge at Hard Rock Casino Rockford.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The MLB postseason starts today, and good news for the Milwaukee Brewers, they don't play, as they are off until Saturday since they secured the #1 seed in the National League. The Brewers will play the winner of the Cubs and the Padres, and Jeff Levering joined Jen, Gabe, and Chewy earlier this morning, and he has one of those teams he thinks is a much better matchup for the Brew Crew.
But I do think that might be the easiest path to get through the division series. The Brewers have played the Cubs. They've played them tough. They know exactly what they're going to get with the Chicago Cubs. I think that the Brewers can beat the Cubs. I think the Brewers can beat anybody, which is great. But I think they have a better opportunity to beat the Chicago Cubs.
Milwaukee's first game in the NLDS will be on Saturday, and you can hear that game right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. Hour 2 of Wilde and Tausch starts now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Of Wilde and Tausch begins now. We'll get back to the Packers in a minute, but I was listening to the great Hunter Vaughn deliver his Sports Center on ESPN Madison. And our buddy Jeff Levering, those who are really close with him call him Levo, appearing on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. And in this clip, you will hear him say very clearly that he believes the Brewers can beat anybody. But I am intrigued by the position he held on what would be the preferable matchup, say, if the Brewers got to pick their next opponent, like Tausch would love all sports teams to be able to do in the postseason. Here's what Jeff Levering said to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on that front.
But I do think that might be the easiest path to get through the division series. The Brewers have played the Cubs. They've played them tough. They know exactly what they're going to get with the Chicago Cubs. I think that the Brewers can beat the Cubs. I think the Brewers can beat anybody, which is great. But I think they have a better opportunity to beat the Chicago Cubs.
So, as you know, I play scared. The last thing that I want this season to turn out to be is to win the division, and Jesse can smack talk how much Craig Counsell sucks, and we could joke about him taking the Hiawatha in his uniform down from Whitefish Bay to Chicagoland. But the last thing I want is for the Brewers season to end with a series loss to the Cubs. That does not sound enjoyable for anybody. Jeff Levering knows a million times more about this team than I do. Slightly less more than you do. You're throwing out first pitches. You got your picture on the wall in the broadcast booth. You're a big deal. Do you agree with Jeff Levering? Would you rather see the Brewers face the Cubs in the next round, which starts Saturday right here on 100.5 ESPN Madison, and of course on 620 WTMJ, the flagship for Brewers baseball on radio?
Well, so I think there's something to be said about understanding and knowing an opponent, but that works the other way too. They also understand that. Now, we've had success versus the Cubbies, but they ended up winning the season series against us, right? Am I correct on that? Because they would have had the tiebreaker. Wasn't that the whole debate?
Correct.
The Padres, obviously, they got some high-priced talent, but I think the fact that it's close, that the Cubs are right down the street, you don't have to travel, and you won't have to go. You understand Wrigley, you know all that. I understand where Levo's coming from. The part I can't quantify, and he has obviously, you were joking, Levo's the best.
Yeah.
Is the pressure you would feel. The Cubs will be coming into that, even though they're the higher payroll and a bigger market, and they basically bought our manager from right out underneath us. How will this group of upstarts and cast-offs, and what did they call it, the misfit toys? I don't remember all the things Pat Murphy has said. How would that group handle that pressure? Because there would be more pressure, and there are fans, a lot of them, that feel like you do. There's going to be pressure either way as far as how this series is going to go, if it's San Diego or the Cubs.
Right.
But I kind of agree. I would agree with Levo. You know this pitching staff. I don't think their bullpen is as good. You know what you need to do, and then you just need to – the pressure is going to be high. I do think there will be more pressure on the Milwaukee Brewers playing the Cubs than there would if they play the San Diego Padres. And how that group can respond to the pressure of it, I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows until you find out. The one thing I do know, and I talked about this on WTMJ this morning with Eric and Vinny, this is a really difficult 6 days to navigate for Pat Murphy. Because in football, you rest the week, and I've seen this. It can go either way. How you go about practicing and trying to keep things as intense as you can, because you can't take 6 days and just snap your fingers and say, let's get back at it, boys. Baseball is such a creature, and it's a creature of habit, and such a momentum game that when you go 6 days, if you're not facing big league pitching live, it is really tough. And then you factor in all of the pressure that goes with it. Woo! This 6 days is going to be critical, and you can't replicate what the Cubs and Padres are going to be doing over the next 3 days. You can't. As the Brewers, there is no replication. You try and figure out the best you can do, but you're going to be facing a team that is feeling real good about themselves, probably feeling really confident about them, and you're feeling good about the fact you had a bye, but you're also, boy, I've been off 6 days. How is this going to go? How's our pitching? You want to keep that razor's edge sharp at this time of the year, and it's difficult to do. So there's a lot of challenges ahead, no question about it.
And we'll all find out together starting on Saturday, whoever they play, and you'll be able to hear that on 620 WTMJ, our sister station in Milwaukee, the flagship of Milwaukee Brewers baseball. Also on 100.5 ESPN Madison, and as pointed out by friend of show and great teammate Wade Bates, Brewers also are on 95.3 WBEV in Beaver Dam.
Slighting WBEV.
Shout out Dodge County.
Yes.
It was an unintentional slight. I'm big in Beaver Dam. I
A
would
slight
never,
nonetheless, though.
I would
A
never
slight nonetheless.
snub intentionally the good people of Good Karma Brands, Beaver Dam, or the Beaver Dam residents, which are Beaver Damians, Beaver Damites.
Beaver Damites. I'd go with that one.
Indeed. Well, I would go with Associated Bank if I were you and you were looking for a new bank. We're just talking about the Brewers. Hey, they've got Brewers checking. They got Badgers checking. They've got Packers checking, but what they've really got is great customer service, and they've got the awards to prove it, whether it's early pay, so you have access to your direct deposit up to 2 days early, whether it's credit monitoring, so you know your credit is a spot where you're going to be able to make that big purchase, or if it's fraud protection, which certainly I experienced. They were awesome about it. Associated Bank has you covered from every angle, so go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. We will get to the Packers next. We're going to solve some problems. Big Tausch, the big problem solver. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf, before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Grassland butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability. Nice. Making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Ruger offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Condon Jewelers, Condon Jewelers.
side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hey Badgers fans, Riley Yauk here for the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show brewed by Coors Light. This weekend, Corey Sparks and I will be live from the Silver Eagle in Monona as the Badgers hope to bounce back after their bye week at the Big House against the Michigan Wolverines. Tune in immediately following the final whistle for our thoughts and reactions, and swing on by for $3 Coors Lights. It's the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show brewed by Coors Light across ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
He's got a Chevrolet that don't always run, and the radio never turns down. He's got a...
So Hunter has an idea. And then we'll judge it.
So,
all right.
I think after listening to a good chunk of the show yesterday with the callers and the way that the conversation around the Packers has been, that we know what the issues are. We've identified a ton of them for the Packers, whether that's the O-line issues or Rich Bisaccia, and maybe we have to have a Pablo's birthday bash sort of conversation about maybe it's time to have the conversation about that man's job status. But instead of just identifying them, I think we should try and find ways to fix them and maybe even ask the fans how the Packers should go about fixing the issues that they have instead of just saying, well, these are the issues and this is going to hurt the team.
So I would like to start with Matt LaFleur talking about the clock management of the final drive in overtime. And then I am going to ask a question of Old T, because as someone who struggles with my own clock management on the program, some could argue that it's caused
You mainly
by...
blame me for that. Like,
I wasn't
sure
done.
LaFleur,
Yeah, I wasn't
LaFleur
done.
probably blamed Jordan Love for the clock
Exactly.
management.
And he wasn't
that's
wrong,
what the great leaders
and
do,
neither
is
am I.
They pass the buck.
Here's Matt LaFleur discussing the closing moments of overtime against the Cowboys.
Yeah, that just goes to the level of detail where we're not where we need to be. There's 28 seconds left. We call a play to take a shot to the end zone. They played cover 2. We end up checking the ball down, so we have an on-the-ball call to send everybody to the end zone. And we knew that we used the term ozone, saying that it's got to go out of bounds or end zone, obviously with time remaining. And just the operation was just way too slow. Like, I don't know if our guys didn't know we were in 2 minutes or what, but ultimately the communication's got to get better. Myself to Jordan to the huddle, and that's the bottom line.
So that does actually sound like me talking about the time management being your fault, which generally it is. Yeah. So here's my question. You played for Mike Sherman.
Was Matt all right with the check down? Did he think that play was fine?
He preferred that to a spike, I guess.
Why?
But I'm not sure. I think, I take that back. I think he meant he wanted him to spike it after the check down, right? Because then that would have been.
Then you have to kick the field goal with 20 seconds
there.
left.
I don't know. I wasn't there to ask the questions. I was here. Let me ask this instead.
Just wait. His press conference was during our show yesterday?
No, he didn't talk yesterday.
Oh.
That's
that was
from after the game
I'm
there. He's talking today at 2. Yeah. He's talking today at 2. No, there was no access yesterday.
I said this yesterday, and I'll be curious if Matt LaFleur agrees. Can't throw that check down there. Can't. That's what threw all of this off. The whole thing was thrown off by this because you can't spike it because then oh, Aubrey could get the ball back and kick an 80-yard field goal, which I know none of us wanted to see happen. And you make that throw, you're conceding pretty much winning the game. So, again, man, it's easy from the cheap seats, Charlie. It's easy for me to sit here and tell you, don't throw that check down when you got somebody draped over you and you can't take a sack. But that decision is why everybody is so, oh, your clock management stinks. I don't necessarily, I'm not disagreeing with LaFleur on this. I think that is the play that really kind of threw the whole thing off. And I do want to know if you're in this position, and again, this is such a rare variable position because you can tie, you can do this. Most of the time, you don't have a problem because you know I'm going to kick the 3 to tie the game and we'll move along with our life, but not in this scenario, which most scenarios is.
So here's my question for you, though. Mike Sherman was so bad with his clock management that he brought in Vince Tobin during his tenure to be kind of his game management consigliere. We make jokes all the time about Mike McCarthy's game management. Now we're very critical of Matt LaFleur's clock management. Is it possible that that's just really hard and the guys that have coached the Green Bay Packers all struggled with it? Are there coaches in the league that are way, way, way better at it, or is it hard for everyone? That's my question.
It's hard for everyone, but it's very hard for guys that call plays.
Yeah.
I think when you have a head coach that calls offensive plays, that's their calling card, and I totally understand. I remember when Mike McCarthy gave it up for, a day or two? When he let Tom Clements call the plays. It's really hard to let go, but you're immersed in that because your mind has to be thinking about, what am I doing here if it's 3rd and 6? What am I doing here if it's 3rd and 2? What am I going to do if it's 3rd and 4 and we get 2? Like, all of that, you can't be a master of all. So you want to have someone, and with the staff that the Packers have, I mean, they have more coaches and analysts than a monster corporation, a government, whatever you want to say. It is a lot of folks there. Someone that you trust needs to help you do that. And I don't know who he has doing that. I think Matt LaFleur, I like the way Matt LaFleur handles his timeouts at the end of the first half. I do. He is always aggressive. I didn't like what he did the other day because there was no juice.
Right.
There wasn't any juice.
And no time. Yeah.
This scenario was very unique. I know they practice all of this. I know they go through rush on field goal. This scenario, because it was overtime, because the other team had kicked the field goal, you didn't necessarily have to score a touchdown. Where they lost it was they took the foot off and didn't go for the jugular. They started thinking about not leaving any time left. That's not the place you want to be. If you leave 15 seconds left and Aubrey kicks a 78-yard field goal, tip your cap and say kudos to Aubrey. I understand you don't want to give any, but I'd much rather you go down and go for it than to sit back and be fearful of a 5'8" kicker. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go out like that. That's not the way you want to do it. And the Charlie check down is what killed that. It is what put this time management crisis into effect, and it is in a very rare occasion that is how that shakes out, because typically you know what you need to do. There aren't the variables that go into it, and the fact you don't want to give a kicker a chance to beat you at the horn. So I'm giving Matt LaFleur a pass on this clock management. I'm not. The first half was a disaster. This one I'm going to give him a little bit of grace. I'm not giving Jordan Love grace for throwing Charlie check down, though. I'm not.
So what's our solution for this before we get to our next problem? Matt LaFleur's not giving up the play calling. Does he need a more effective game management advisor a la what Vince Tobin was supposed to be to those many, many years ago to Mike Sherman. What's our solution here?
Can you tell me some other times that you were disgusted with his clock management?
No, see, I don't think he's that bad.
I don't think he is not, and no offense, I love Mike McCarthy. Mike was not good at it. Mike was not good at clock management. Like, that was not his strength. Matt LaFleur, maybe I'm just being blinded by it. I don't think he's bad at that. I don't think that this scenario was so unique, and the Charlie checkdown made it even more difficult to manage. I think Matt LaFleur is aggressive on timeout usage. I thought he was too aggressively at the end of that sack strip gutted us, and it was not necessary. Sometimes kneeling and moving on with your life in the end of the world. And at that point, I still believed our defense was dominant. Now, I was proven wrong about that, at least on that half of football up there in Arlington. But I don't think Matt LaFleur has a time management problem. I just don't. There's other issues that he's got to work through. His challenges, the emotionality of letting things bother him, some body language things that I still would like to see him get better at. But clock management, and he gets his urine hot. He gets irritated. He doesn't go a lot of times. His embers are usually pretty lit. And I love that about him. So I'm not giving you a solution because I don't think the problem is as big as others do.
Yeah. All right. I agree with you. When I think of things that I second guess him on, we think back to the challenges are a major issue for him.
Because he's mad.
Yeah.
Because he's mad
emotion.
about stuff.
Yeah, emotion. And then the one thing from his time that stands out is the debate over kicking the field goal against the Buccaneers in the playoff game, in the NFC Championship game at Lambeau, when you and Max were in the stands and there were only a handful of fans there, and it was COVID times, and it was, wasn't the home field advantage you normally would have had there. And again, if there's not the nickel-dimer pass interference tugging the jersey on Kevin King, which guys have been getting away with all game long, that strategy might have actually worked. And that's the one thing that sticks out about him, and he was a jersey tug away from being right about it. All right, we haven't solved that one, so we're off to a strong start, but I agree with you. I don't think it's a big enough problem that we need to do something different.
Yeah, why is vitriol's too strong, but it's not just general dislike. There's a medium here. Why is everybody so down on LaFleur after Sunday? Was it because of the clock management, and was it because of the special teams? Why are we so down on LaFleur now?
I think, again, I'm not an expert at this, but I think it's, first of all, people love them some Jeff Hafley, although that should have changed a little bit. Another person we might have been crowning prematurely based on that performance. Secondly, the Bisaccia thing has people frustrated, right? And they blame LaFleur.
But that's Bisaccia, because you won't move on from it.
Right. And then finally, the head coach, that's part of the gig, right? It's always going to be your fault. But, again, the way they ended the game.
Yeah, but it ramped up. It ramped up a lot.
Right? Because I think there's a feeling among fans, again, I'm not here to speak for fans, but the vibe I get is that he freezes up or he doesn't get it done when the money's on the table. That I
don't think people – I golfed with a couple of folks yesterday, and I don't think they like the cut of his jib.
What does that mean?
I don't think they like that he's all manicured up. And I don't know how many people told me this, but I heard it both via the Green Bay game night. I heard it yesterday. You heard it with calls. And this kept coming. Dan Campbell would never have approached that game at the end like they did.
They're not wrong.
And I can't argue with that.
We had Aaron and DeForest call in, and he couldn't remember the exact game, but it was either the Vikings or the Lions, he felt like, where LaFleur mismanaged the clock at the end as well. And he was
give us some specifics, Aaron. I mean, yeah, you could say what you like. Okay, and I'm not saying he hasn't mismanaged clocks. I'm saying I appreciate the way he is aggressive at. He is not going to let somebody just bleed a clock out. He makes you make decisions too. I don't think his clock management stinks. I don't. I think his challenges and his emotionality on some stuff stinks. And I've been very clear about that.
What doesn't stink is a nice, cold, Blue Mountain Coors Light.
Oh, indeed. And yesterday, beautiful day on the course, beautiful warm weather, and beautiful cold Rocky Mountain cold Coors Light. Brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It was made to chill in those mountains. Oh, baby, you got the 16-ounce silver bullet. Made sure that the mountains were blue on blue, extra blued, making sure it was extra chilled, because that's what I needed yesterday. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll solve some more problems for the Green Bay Packers. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Penalty flags? Not here. Carbless is the clean play that every football fan can agree on. With 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories, you get all the flavor without the penalty. Whether you're tailgating outside the stadium, hosting a crew at home, or watching solo in your lucky jersey, Carbless brings premium cocktails right into the huddle. Made to be refreshingly delicious and game day ready, Carbless keeps fans cheering from kickoff to the final whistle. So this season, skip the sugar, skip the carbs, and make the winning call. Find your bliss with Carbless.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's kickoff time at Metro Florida Madison, and we're bringing the heat with unbeatable truck deals. Get the 2025 F-150 Lightning with 0% APR for 72 months, $13.89 per $1,000 borrowed, or tackle any job with the 2024 F-150 or F-150 XLT, now at 2.9 APR for 66 months, $16.41 for $1,000 borrowed. These offers end September 30th, so don't fumble your chance to save. Visit MetroFloridaMadison.com and score your next truck today.
Planning a corporate event, private party, or team outing? Madison acts as your state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Whoa, you nailed it! Featuring 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, and interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard. 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Book your corporate event or holiday party now, before their lanes fill up. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today. Bring your family out to the next Forward Madison FC game. Their family special, sponsored by Madison Gas and Electric, is the perfect budget-friendly option for any families to enjoy professional soccer in Madison. For just $21, get your game ticket, plus a meal and scarf. Get your family together and come cheer on the Mingos as they make their playoff push. Head to ForwardMadisonFC.com to learn more and get your tickets today. That's ForwardMadisonFC.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Blocked by Bucky.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhoffels and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by Gordon Flesh Company and Goodman's Jewelers.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, we'll react to the MLB playoffs, plus after 4 weeks. Is it safe to say we already know which divisions are officially over? It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
All right, Hunter, here's your chance. What else do we need to fix? Tell us what you want fixed, and we'll fix it. We're the Mr. Fix-Its of the Green Bay Packers.
Well, one of the things I found interesting on the power rankings this week was the fact that they brought up the issues on offense for each team. So we could go through the power rankings as well here and then have Tausch fix this issue that they list for the Packers.
If I may.
Well, you always may.
First question I have for you guys. After 4 weeks, what's your biggest concern about this football team? I have an easy answer on my end. What is your biggest concern? If it's clock management by Matt LaFleur, I'm going to I will vehemently disagree with you. Not going to get violent.
I'm going to beat the crap out of you guys.
What is right now, if you're saying, boy, if they don't get this right, oh, baby, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough sledding.
So I have two of them.
All right, well, pick one. I'm not going
to. Well, no, I don't want to pick one.
Well,
this is like when you,
for the sake of this exercise.
Yeah, but we do these exercises all the time, and then you rattle off like 3 or 4. And then you choose your one out of the 3 or 4, and then I got to figure out what else I'm going to do.
Jason, I'm asking you to just say one, and then at the end, if you want to jump in and hammer the other one, go for it.
I'm doing it my way.
All right,
Standing up to you.
Hunter, you're done for a second.
Nope,
Hunter.
I'm not. Nope.
Why do you have to be how you are?
Because I am who I am.
I think it's special teams.
I think it's special teams, and I think it's getting the offensive line figured out. Those are the two things they absolutely have to get fixed. Now, maybe the offensive line can be fixed with health. I don't think that's the case with special teams, but those are the two things at the top of my list.
What makes you think that health is going to get this fixed?
Of the offensive line?
Yeah. Yep.
Because if you have Zach Tom, you have your preferred starting 5.
Okay.
And if you don't prefer,
correct me if I'm wrong. I think Kennard graded out pretty highly. Did he not?
He did. For a guy that they tried everybody but him for most of the time that they were trying to replace.
All right.
Zach Tom. But my question is it possible, just possible, that you're better off with Jordan Morgan at left guard than you are with Aaron Banks? Is that possible?
Sure. Yeah, it's possible. Jordan, I don't know how well Jordan has played at left guard. I think Jordan, it was nice that he was able to settle in and play.
I believe he was highly graded as well.
Sheeto did not have a great game out at left tackle. I thought he gave some stuff up. Obviously, the Strack was a tough one, and that stuff happens. But I think that group, I'm not sure how well. I mean, Elton Jenkins has not played well. period, Finn. He has said that. I don't necessarily know how well he played on Sunday. That's
He
why
was
I
the
loved
worst
Blue.
graded player on the offense.
That ain't good. That's not good. So Elton, unless Elton gets it turned around and starts playing better football, and I believe he will. I don't know Sean Ryan. I just think this O-line, they have not been able to work together. Sean Ryan can tell you he's had, 4 offensive tackles playing next to him.
Correct.
That's not easy. So that group as a whole, they were able to run the football with pretty good yardage at the end, but I don't think they're going to feel great about what they put on film. And, by the way, that defensive unit is not good.
No.
They're not good.
No, you're
at
right
all.
about that. Your 5
That's the
worst.
Answer. The O-line is the answer. It's not special teams. So special teams, what's your solution? Special teams stinks. Don't give me a look. Their kicker's good and their punter's good. You have those 2 things, you should win. What, you don't think their kicker's good?
No, I was doing faces then.
Oh.
Because you told me don't to give you a look, so I started giving you a bunch of different looks. Like
there-
Bob Knight about the game face video.
So you are not overly bold on your bold-a-thon. Are
They
you
ain't
ready
trading
to
Romeo.
call for Bissett? You have called for Joe Barry's job. You have said Mike McCarthy it was time to go, and I applauded you.
Not at the
for
time that
being-
it happened, though.
No, but you said the season was this was it for him. You said that in the beginning of that season.
I did. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm.
What is your solution to fixing the special teams? Because offensive line-wise, the solution is stick with 5 guys and let's get better and let's grow as a unit. And if that means you're playing Jordan Morgan at left guard because Banksy can't get healthy, and you end up you get Zach Tom back, you're going to feel a lot better about your group.
Uh-huh.
What's your solution? Are you willing to, like I saw Homer on Twitter yesterday, and a lot of fans, are you willing to call for Bisaccia's job right now?
No, I'm not.
All right, how's the unit going to get better? Because last I checked, somebody tweeted this at me. Rich Bisaccia's special teams units have never been above 25th while he's been the head guy at the Green Bay Packers, including 30th or 32nd one of those years. And right now they're hovering in the 30th range.
Yeah, first
change?
let's start with criticizing him. You can't put a guy on punt returns. I don't care how good he is athletically, how fast he is. You can't put Matthew Golden out there when he's never done it before. Punt returning is an art. Okay? You have to have done it a lot to be good at it because it's hard, right? Jaden Reed, pretty good, right? When healthy, but obviously he breaks his collarbone. I don't understand why they had McCole Hardman on the practice squad and didn't have McCole Hardman do this stuff, for one. Then they just released him, which I'm very curious to know. Did they release him, or did he say, hey, man, if you guys aren't going to elevate me after you lost Jaden Reed to IR, this is probably not the place for me. I'd rather be free to move about the country and find a new gig somewhere else. I don't know if that happened or not. I didn't get a chance to ask anybody about that. I'm very curious about that, though. But you put a guy in Matthew Golden out there. He's had 2 balls that he should have fielded that he didn't, that he then caught on a bounce, which is, we know, dangerous in and of itself. He had the one where he misjudged it, gets spun around, and then just gets lit up like a Christmas tree with a really hard hit. And then you put the guy with the Guardian cap out there with the concussion history to do it. Like, do you not have other options there? Now, they tried something different on the kickoff return. They put Bo Melton back there. He wasn't great. He wasn't terrible. The ball was secure at least. But Savion Williams is supposed to be the answer there. At least he did that in college. So I'm okay with that. Secondly, I'm not sure who needs to be your wings, but clearly in the last 2 weeks you've had tight ends who have not gotten the job done. Luke Musgrave on Sunday, Tucker Kraft the previous week. So I don't know what the schematic issue is there, or if it's just you need somebody else. They replaced Luke Musgrave with your guy Carl Brooks, who's not a tight end, but certainly did a better job of protecting the edge thereafter. That feels like something that should be fixable, right? For anybody, whether you're Rich Bisaccia.
So why are you not calling for his job? You just gave a litany of
because
things.
Because you can fix those things if you want.
Why haven't you? You got worse.
Look, you wanted Jaden Reed to be your punt returner. He got hurt. You tried something else. It didn't work. You got to do something, again, else than that. The kickoff return, I think Savion Williams and Bo Melton are fine. But the protection...
How many years has he been the special teams coordinator?
This is year four.
Have we been any good under his tenure?
You had a 2-time All-Pro kickoff return guy. You tried 2 rookie kickers back-to-back years that did not go great, although people forget Anders Carlson made like his first 16 kicks as a rookie. And now you got a really good kicker. You got a really good punter. And you feel good about your long snapper. Their coverage units have been pretty good. But ever since you don't have your all-pro kickoff returner, Keyshawn Nixon, in the mix, you're getting bupkis from your return game. But I don't think they have a history of getting a lot of kicks blocked. Do they? Certainly 2 kicks in 2 weeks makes it feel like it. But... are there, like the last kick I remember being blocked before that was of significance was in the loss to the 49ers in the playoff game.
That was pretty significant, I would say.
Yeah, which was 4 years ago.
Stands right.
Before he was in charge. So what I'm saying...
So Bisaccia is not the problem, you're saying. It is just the mismanagement and techniques by the players in his units.
He's the one who clearly decided to have Matthew Golden return punts. He was wrong about that. And he admitted he was wrong by taking him out. Right? That's admitting you were wrong.
No, I don't know.
I don't see them as it being as simple as fire the special teams coach and everything's solved. Just block better on the protection because they don't have a history of being susceptible to blocks during these 4 years, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong if somebody has a statistic.
Except for the last 2 weeks where you had a game-winning kick blocked and then a field extra point that swayed the momentum of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So except for those 2 times, there's no history.
All those times except for those 2 times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Have you? Nothing really has happened outside of, we had a game-winning kick blocked and then a momentum-swinging extra point. But other than that, it's been great. What the hell are you saying?
I think you're being obtuse on
what?
purpose.
No, literally just said
If he has 3 years and 4 games of evidence of protection on kicks, and they've had 2 in the last 2 weeks, there's obviously a problem now, right? The Wings have got, if you remember, it was Shelby Harris, whose big mitt in the middle gets most of the ball in Cleveland.
The mitt in the middle. All right.
If we're being honest, Denzel Ward also got a piece of it because he beat Tucker Kraft off the edge. Then you have Luke Musgrave get beat off the edge. You have to fix that. But I'm saying if you have all the kicks from 2022 to now, and they've had 2 in 2 weeks, but they haven't had an epidemic of problems, maybe it's just the execution of that block.
I'm sorry. I don't give 2 rips about 2022 kicks.
You
don't
just
care.
Okay.
I don't
You've
care.
made up your mind, and I'm
no,
not here
I haven't.
to argue.
No,
Luke Musgrave went to the wrong guy.
What is that? Yeah, that's your unit. That's your unit.
That's not
Don't
Luke
put him out
Musgrave's
there.
fault. That's Rich Bisaccia. You're forcing me to defend an unpopular coordinator. Where is the personal responsibility of the player?
Well, then don't have a coach. The coaches have. That's the deal, Jason.
When you missed a block, was it Campy's fault?
I wish it was. No, but then you replace. So here's the deal.
They did replace him. They immediately replaced him after that.
The hiring of Rich Bisaccia was looked at as a godsend to save the special teams, and nobody can sit here and argue the special teams have not gotten better under Rich Bisaccia. They haven't. Matter of fact, some of the groupings have gotten significantly worse. Those are facts. And I don't know why we can't sit here and have an honest dialogue about it. You say, well, in 2022, they didn't have any kicks blocked. Who gives a rip?
If there was a history of him as a coordinator getting a lot of kicks blocked, it would indicate that he sucks at coaching kick protection. There's not. Luke Musgrave blocks
Jason,
the wrong guy. And yes, please.
Quick question. When something happens, whether it's a blitz pickup or a field goal block or a punt block, you know what typically happens that next week? What do you think typically happens by that coaching staff on that? Do they say, well, we'll get them next time, or do they say, why did this happen? How do we fix it? And it ain't ever happening again. And if it does, you know what drives coaches nuts, Jason? Making the same mistake twice.
Fair, yeah.
And what just happened? As a coach, your unit just made the same mistake 2 weeks in a row. That's what drives coaches nuts. Right?
It also feels
Right,
like
or am I
special
wrong?
teams has been giving up big returns. Well, they haven't given up a touchdown yet. They're giving up a lot of field position to their opponents,
but Keyshawn
too.
Nixon had a great touchdown return against Miami on a Christmas 7 years ago, so it's all good. Right? Or no? I do remember. It was, by the way, Jason, I'm sitting there making like a pumpkin pie, and we're watching the game, and I'm like, oh, my God, we got this thing all solved. Bisaccia has got this done because Keyshawn just took it to the house. I remember that. I do.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels, celebrating 91 years with savings on furniture and mattresses. Trusted for quality and comfort. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Wisconsin's current struggles leaving the fan base questioning its long-term effects. Despite its recent slide, ESPN's Adam Rittenberg on why UW has and will still be a prime destination for coaches.
I think there's a lot of respect for the history that Barry has created there, and I think a lot of coaches are going to look at that as a place, man, I just need to get this thing back to its identity. I need to reconnect with the state of Wisconsin and the alumni in ways that maybe this staff has not connected as well as they could have. I think it's going to be super appealing.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Stoughton Health provides comprehensive and compassionate care to Stoughton community and the entire Madison area. From our sports rehab facilities in Oregon and Stoughton to our renowned ortho team with Dr. Ravel, Stoughton Health can help. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com.
It's bottle popping time, Brewers fans.
97 wins for your Milwaukee Brewers, a new franchise record.
You're listening to Madison's home for the NL Central champion Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Take my heart, don't break it. Love me to my bones. All this time I've wasted. You were right there all along. You and I start gazing intertwining souls. We were never strangers. You were.
Got a text from my good friend John Kerry. No, John Kerry. And he said he was listening to Brian Bulaga with Homer last night on the Homer Hour, and that Bulaga pointed out that the game-tying end-of-overtime kick, and that was nearly blocked as well.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
partially, I mean, there is a lot of kicks getting blocked. So maybe it's just an epidemic around the league, and it's not just a Green Bay problem. But I was joking with you, but also kind of being serious in the fact that you're saying, well, it's not. I mean, when's the last time it happened? Well, two straight weeks is when it's happened, and I understand it. It's Rich Bisaccia is going to be the special teams coach for the rest of this year. I can't imagine Matt LaFleur making some big, bold move. Do you? I mean, do you think Matt LaFleur would make this big, bold move mid-season, Jason?
I don't. And I'm looking at the kick that that Bulaga via John Kerry was talking about, and it looks to me like once again a guy on the wing. This time it's John Fitzpatrick who whiffs. So now we're talking about an epidemic of guys who, and you said that's a hard job.
It sucks. No, Jason, I'm telling you, Mike Wall did it for us, and we would literally be, like, if it was a third down and, 12, and we were in field goal range, we would kind of sit and joke and say, boy, I hope it ends up on the right hash. Because then if you're on the short side of the field, it's Chill City over there. You're like, oh, yeah, here, because they're not bringing it. The wide side on the hash, then it's load-up time, and it's going to be like, you knew. Flanny did it. Wally did it. We had Bubba do it. It is a job that you are going to be pulverized. They are coming at you, and they're basically saying to you, you need to hang in there because you're going to get run over. It's get run over slow. You literally have to take 2 gaps, Jason. This is not for the faint of heart. So you have to find somebody that's a little sick. That's a little bit like, yeah, all right, this is what you
Looks
need
like
me to
they
do.
don't have anyone that fits
Jason,
the mold.
you stand there with your arms like this, like it's Red Rover. You hold the inside gap, and you want to just nudge the outside guy to break his course so that he can't turn a soft corner to block the kick off the edge. So you have to do this and get barreled while punching the dude to slow him down. It is not an easy job. It has to be coached. And where it frustrates me is when you're like, well, it's a player thing. Coaches coach and demand.
Right, but
you have to demand.
And you were killing me for saying this, but clearly they have not been doing a bad job of coaching the edge guys, the wing guys previously, because it's not like this has been a common problem. It has now happened a lot lately. So do they not have guys that are capable of a really crappy job that are, as you said, have to be psycho to be willing to do it? Or are they not coaching it sufficiently to guys that don't have enough experience with
Jason,
it to be better at it?
I don't know. But I do know this.
I don't know.
Coaches, players get fired and cut all the time.
Sure.
All the time.
Yes.
You fumble the ball, and it's deuces B. We got to get somebody else in there. That's
Sure.
how it is. But when it happens repeatedly, you can't. At some point, there is some accountability, and that's all I'm asking. I am not saying fire Bisaccia. I'm not. I'm saying there's an accountability with your unit. If your offense is 30th every stinking year, you ain't going to be a coordinator that long. Because they're going to say, well, somebody can do it better. Just like if you're a pass blocker and you give up 4 sacks in a game, they're not going to say, oh, shucksies, we'll do it better next time. They're going to say, deuces B, we'll get somebody else in here. That's the brutal truth of the NFL, and there's days you don't want to accept that truth. You can't handle that truth, and that's where that conversation went, and that's why I had such a good time with it, and you were a little bit irritated with old team.
All I'm saying, so we've got Tucker Kraft, we've got Luke Musgrave, we've got Carl Brooks, we've got John Fitzpatrick. All those guys have tried to be the wing with varying degrees of failure. So and you said it's a really hard job. If it was one guy who was allowing this repeatedly, simple answer, that guy shouldn't do it anymore. But as of now, it would appear that either they don't have anyone who can consistently do it all of a sudden, or they have just not been able to do it in instances of late, because there's not a long history of guys coming off the edge to block kicks from Mason Crosby or Anders Carlson or Narv Dog or Brandon McManus. That was all my point was. Coach Mack delivered some fancy schmancy DeForest gear to us at Steinhoffel's, and he recalls a moment where Matt LaFleur's late game time management was poor, and he called back with that information. So let's get that from him before the top of the 11 o'clock hour at 11:13. Coach, good morning. Thanks for holding on.
Hey, boys.
What's the recollection you have?
All I'm asking is to have Tausch reconsider that there's not a time management issue, either as the head coach or the offensive coordinator, one or the other.
Okay.
Go back to Bears game last year. Okay? Go back to the Bears game last year. We get the ball with Malik Willis in the game. A minute 32 to go. We're on the Bears 37. We are running the ball to run the clock down to eventually what I believed was to kick a field goal based on the way they're calling plays. We are snapping the ball with 30 seconds on the clock or 24 seconds on the clock when the Bears have one timeout. We then, on third and 2, we run the ball with 27 seconds left to go on the play call to turn around and call a timeout on 4th down to then kick a field goal, and we don't even require the Bears to waste their last timeout. and go down and lose that game. So my question is, and now we've talked about it in the Browns game, and I know I'm just a high school I was a high school Harry head coach, which it's high
not
school
that
football.
Harry.
I get it.
Yeah,
but I wasn't
Harry High School.
I wasn't. Yeah, Harry High School. I wasn't second guessing it in the Browns game. I was first guessing it. You run that ball, you punt it, the game's over. We've all said that. I get it.
I agree.
Then we go to the Cowboys game.
Now you're Harry Tauscher.
And he's responsible for, to me, Love. He's the extension of the head coach on the floor, which he's also the offensive coordinator. So that's why I'm saying I think there is a problem. Now, again, I'm all for it. He's not going anywhere. He should be our head coach, should be our offensive coordinator. But I think it has to get addressed because it's costing us games. And I think it's costing belief in some of the players. Because when we get in those situations, we don't handle them well.
So I had forgotten about the end of the season.
Oh, that Bears game was totally mismanaged.
Yeah.
That's a good recall by Coach Mack. He admitted afterwards he butchered that. Correct?
He did. Yes. He totally did, and he totally admitted it.
I think I looked at that game as a nothing burger, but it's fair. It is a really fair point and a good recall to bring that up because that was mismanaged in a big way. And there were no variables there. That was, this is what you need to do to win the game.
And by the way, to Coach Mack's point, so the first play of that possession, the Packers have the ball after recovering a fumble at the Chicago 43. Okay, the Packers are trailing at that point, 21-19. They get the fumble at the Chicago 43. 1:49 left. Malik Willis completes a pass to Malik Heath for 6 yards. And to Coach Mack's point, the next snap is at 1:31. So they clearly did not drain the clock there before the next snap of the next play. And that's Emmanuel Wilson up the middle for 2 yards. So now they snap the 3rd and 2 play with 1:05 left, and then LaFleur calls that timeout instead of using up more clock before kicking the field goal. And they clearly left the Bears way too much time.
Yeah, he butchered that.
He did
totally
indeed.
Butchered it.
Yep.
So you know what I love? I ask for an example. Coach Mack, you bring an example. I'm not, and I have not said that his clock management is genius, but I am not in the same camp that he is dog blank with clock management like some have said.
So can I use the segue of speaking of butchering?
Yeah.
Go to Jones Dairy Farm for all your fresh meats.
Oh, baby. Jones Dairy Farm, family-owned and operated for 7 generations right in Fort Atkinson since 1889, and they're best known for their all-natural sausage made from the original family recipe. It's available in pork, chicken, and turkey, and their sausage is made with fresh meat only, no fillers, no nitrates, no MSG, gluten. Jones also, they naturally smoke their ham, Canadian bacon, dry-aged bacon, Braunschweiger, and fully cooked meatballs. And we have some fun videos up with Philip, the big dog over there. Eleanor has been in it. We got a couple of really fun plans in the works that we're going to be down at Jones Dairy again. Head over to jonesdairyfarm.com and check out all of the great products and grocery stores that Jones Dairy Farm is located.
The 11 o'clock hour starts even later than the 10 o'clock hour did.
Wow. Hey, LaFleur, what are you doing?
It's Wilde and Tausch.
It's probably the player's fault. Hey, it's the player's fault. Don't worry.
It is. One player in particular. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus in Mount Horeb, your homegrown auction powerhouse from government assets to vehicles and equipment. Find your next deal at wisconsinsurplus.com. The MLB postseason starts today, and the Milwaukee Brewers won't play until Saturday as they're the number 1 seed in the National League. The Brew Crew will play either the Cubs or the Padres, depending on who wins that wild card series. Earlier this morning, Jeff Levering joined Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and he thinks that the Cubs would be the best matchup for the Brewers in the NLDS.
But I do think that might be the easiest path to get through the division series. The Brewers have played the Cubs. They've played them tough. They know exactly what they're going to get with the Chicago Cubs. I think that the Brewers can beat the Cubs. I think the Brewers can beat anybody, which is great. But I think they have a better opportunity to beat the Chicago Cubs.
Milwaukee's first game in the NLDS will be on Saturday, and you can hear that game right here on 100.5 ESPN. Hour 3 of Wilde and Tausch starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11:22 hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. By the way, the Packers fell to 8th in the ESPN Power Rankings. They were 5th last week. I believe they were 3rd before they lost to the Browns. I wanted to get to this because we spent a lot of time last week talking about Barry Alvarez and his despicable go boo in a bar comments.
Go boo in a bar.
Boo in a bar. We don't want you here. Get your ass out of here. Go boo in a bar. The Barry Alvarez show. So that occurred without Jesse?
It did. Jim Rutledge stepped in to host with the guys.
Oh, Jimmy! Oh.
Returned to his roots. But Barry Alvarez did address his comments from the previous program. Here's what the old ball coach had to say.
Once I get cranked up, I can overdo it occasionally. Yeah. And I probably overdid it. Our fans are the best, and they're very loyal. They're committed. They're intense. I might have been too tough on them, but you know what? That's the way I feel. They can express themselves. I can express myself. So it's an even deal.
I might have overdid it.
It's an even deal.
Despicable. What do you think? What do you think of what he had to say there?
I think that's where, last week, I basically said Barry can say what he wants. He did overdo it. I think he's very frustrated. It was pretty obvious he's very frustrated about how that game played out against Maryland, and he is the greatest coach in the history of Wisconsin football, an athletic director, and that's where his mind is always going to go. How will this affect that part of this job? And now that he is a media member and he is doing a show, this is so personal to him. He spent his life doing this. He built this. He's a huge part of everything, and he wants this to be successful. When it's not, and fans are voicing their displeasure, he's wondering. I can completely understand where he's coming from. He can be wrong. You can call him out, but I understood where he was coming from. It just was not the right. It was not the right way to voice, in my opinion, how to go about doing that. But you love the fact that he is as passionate because you understand why he is, because he cares. And our fans care, and that's why they said and did what they did. So now it's up to Luke and everybody else to win some games and to show that we're getting better and improving, because fans are really frustrated. Barry Alvarez was really frustrated. It's just that they had different ways to going about how to voice that displeasure.
Go boo in a bar.
Go boo in a bar.
That's such a great drum.
It might be my favorite one now.
Yeah, it's pretty dang good.
This one being number 2.
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Rush is
That's good, too.
I also am partial to Rubbish from Mark Tauscher, but that one is usually played on Jim, Matt, and Molly. All right, it's time for trivia. Hunter, please tell me it's Gerald Ford trivia. Jesse can't hurt you here.
I went with the traditional. There's been some Badgers news, so I thought I would go Wisconsin Badger trivia. I was trying to keep it, semi-normal being the sub.
Okay.
I know. I'm sorry. I promise you, even if it is a Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, the next time I produce, it will be Gerald Ford trivia.
That's all we can ask. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is Badgers Trivia Tuesday. What caller would you like, Hunter?
Let's go with caller number 5 today.
Caller 5 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 5 plays trivia presented by Cousin Subs. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Ready to watch the Packers like a VIP? Cousin Subs put you in the center of it all, on the 50-yard line in plush recliner seats, complete with personal TVs and your favorites delivered from Cousin Subs. 2 pairs of fans are selected before each regular season home game to enjoy this one-of-a-kind experience. Enter daily to win the best seats in the house, only from Cousin Subs. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. See rules and eligibility for details.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Immediate live show streaming. A homepage customized just for you. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app.
So does this automatically mean Super Bowl or bust for the Green Bay Packers?
No doubt. Yep.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's all right to be critical, but to go as far as,
fire the coach.
The coach is like ridiculous.
I agree. I'd like to see the person that said that.
Everything in the palm of your hand. Available in the Apple and Android App Store. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
Make the best seat in the house yours. Carbless delivers the handcrafted cocktail experience right to your living room. Bold flavor, no carbs, no sugar, just 100 calories, and all the taste with none of the extra baggage. From kickoff to the final play, Carbless is your game day go-to. Hosting friends, watching with family, or celebrating every big drive, Carbless keeps the good times pouring. So when the game's on the line, make the winning call. Skip the mixing, grab the bliss, and make every seat the best seat in the house. Find Carbless near you at drinkcarbless.com.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
It's kickoff time at Metro Ford of Madison, and we're bringing the heat with unbeatable truck deals. Get the 2025 F-150 Lightning with 0% APR for 72 months, $13.89 per $1,000 borrowed, or tackle any job with the 2024 F-150 or F-150 XLT, now at 2.9 APR for 66 months, $16.41 per $1,000 borrowed. These offers end September 30th, so don't fumble your chance to save. Visit MetroFordofMadison.com and score your next truck today.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common: GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's top prospect camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Let's make tonight the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. Got no reason not to celebrate. Baby, I just don't wanna wait.
We will get back to... Well, actually, we won't, because we'll have Whoa Hunter coming up next.
Well, yeah, Jason, I do want to talk like that. I don't know if I brought this up yesterday. That Elton Jenkins on the goal line flipping the football to snap it was one of the most ridiculously bad calls that I've ever seen. I actually was going to reach out to Blandino. Like, the centers have been doing that for years. Years. You don't make that call down there. That was ridiculous.
I didn't mind it.
You literally, Hunter, could call that every blanket play. That is how centers snap the ball.
I know, Tausch. I was just, as a Cowboys fan, I was cool with it.
No, Hunter, I understood your joke of it, but that ain't a joke. Like, that ain't a joke. That's serious. No, it was just ridiculous. Like, I understand it was a ridiculous call at that point. That's 5 yards, man.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Not if you're a Cowboys fan, though.
No, I understood. I got the joke.
Yeah. No, I know you got it. Let's play trivia presented by Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is presented by Cousin Subs. Crispy chicken tenders are now available at Cousin Subs. Order today in store at cousinsubs.com or with the Cousins app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
It is time for trivia. Let's welcome in our contestants. It is Mike, the wedding DJ. Mike, how about them Dolphins? Big win last night over another winless team. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, it's a Pyrrhic victory since Tyreek Hill's lost for the year, so won the battle and lost the war. So you lose your best player on your team. It's tough. Look at the Bengals. They're done for the year. Dolphins were done for the year anyway, but now the most exciting player to at least watch on the field is gone too.
Pyrrhic victory, really well done. Very good reference there. That's when you win, but you really lose. Let's see if you win.
How do you spell that? How do you spell Pyrrhic? Is it P-H-Y? R-I-I-C?
It's P-Y-R-R-H-I-C.
It is.
That is
well
a hard
spelled.
word to spell. That is a hard word to spell. I knew there was an H in there somewhere. All right. Lesson learned.
Those sneaky H's.
Hopefully this is not a Pyrrhic victory for you with trivia. The category is Badgers Trivia Tuesday. Question number 1, Mike, is this. Yesterday afternoon, it was announced that which former men's basketball player will be joining Greg Gard's staff
Brad
this
Davison,
season.
one of my favorite players ever.
Brad Davison is correct. Your other choices were Ben Brust, and Kurt Portman. Question 2.
Well, if Ben Brust joins the coaching staff, we'll finish in last place.
Wow, that's tough.
Sick burn, bro.
I'm joking. I'm
harsh.
joking. I had to take a shot at Ben. I love Ben. Ben's great, but he's better at betting than he is probably coaching basketball.
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Brust is
Question 2, Mike, is this.
That angler laugh is the best part of that.
That's pretty good before that, too, but the angler laugh is the capper. On Sunday afternoon, the Wisconsin volleyball head coach Kelly Sheffield earned his 600th career victory. Which
Correct.
Big Ten school did the Badgers beat?
Iowa Hawkeyes down there in that lousy arena they have.
Oh.
2 for 2. Question 3. The Badgers football team plays at Michigan this Saturday. The last time the Badgers played at the Big House, they won 49-11?
Yep.
Who was the Badgers quarterback in that victory? Was it Scott Tolzien, Graham Mertz, or Brooks Bollinger?
Wow. Oh, jeez. I think this is a trick question. I'm guessing it was a COVID win. I can't remember if it was, so I'm going to guess Mertz.
Wow. Yes! I don't remember this at all. Tausch, help jog my memory.
So, yeah, I just remember that I think we had played Illinois.
That was the game where he didn't throw any incompletions forever.
He was perfect. He ended up getting COVID. I think he came back. I remember we did the game from Madison, and the game was in Michigan. We didn't even go to Michigan to do the game. So I remember we kicked the living heck out of him, and that's when I was really feeling it like, all right, man, yeah, we're good. And, of course, things kind of –
Callahan.
But luckily Jesse wasn't here. He couldn't have read those questions because, as he says, that season never happened. That COVID season is off the books. But
Badgers also rushed for like 480 yards in that game without a 100-yard rusher.
That's a good day. I think that's when Connor Stallions got hired right after that game for Michigan. Coincidence? I don't know. Allegedly.
Mike, you have all 3 correct answers. You have 4 entries into Friday's drawing, and then it'll be a Pyrrhic victory if you don't win the prize pack from Cousins.
Well, that's what happened last week. Except I only had 3 entries. Maybe the 4th one will be the lucky one.
Yeah, maybe. Good luck. Good luck. Hey, the Dolphins won. So could you. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Love you guys.
That is Mike the Wedding DJ, today's contestant in trivia. We'll play double trivia tomorrow with geography since we didn't play yesterday as we talked about Packers-Cowboys and the loss that felt like a tie. Woe Hunter is always an adventure. And it's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. Mark Tauscher here, and new at Pizza Hut, 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, chicken bacon ranch, and Nashville hot chicken. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 handcrafted flats at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf, before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The Bucky Badger Student Mascot Fund was created to support the amazing student athletes who bring the best mascot in the world to life.
My name is Jake Huser. I was Bucky from 2021 to 2024, and my favorite memory of being Bucky was winning a national championship with both volleyball in 2021 and women's hockey in 2023.
Your donation will help fund new scholarships to ensure that the rich tradition of Bucky lives on. Learn more at supportbucky.org. That's supportbucky.org.
Matt LePay for Steinhoffels. Steinhoffels is a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Since 1934, Steinhoffels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress destination for quality, selection, and service. For over 90 years, Steinhoffels has helped Wisconsinites create the homes of their dreams and is 100% employee-owned. Steinhoffels has the largest selection of all the latest styles and all the best mattress brands. You'll find something for every style and every budget. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time for Woe Hunter.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
So I wanted to start with something that Micah Parsons said after the Packers-Cowboys game, and it has me a little bit irked as a Cowboys fan. So I'm just going to play this as he was talking
Isn't
about...
that your default setting as a Cowboys fan, is irked?
Sad, disappointed, dejected.
Beaten down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Irrationally hopeful up until about October.
That's fair.
Micah was talking about the respect factor and how it was gone with Jerry Jones and the way the trade was handled.
Like when Goody told me that he was trading for me, he said, let me call Kenny before it breaks. The importance of the organization and that, like, I didn't even get to talk to my owner, the person that drafted me. I found out through my agent. Like, I just feel like, so to me, that emotion side was pointless because the same way he called me in his office as a man, he couldn't tell me as a man. So to me, that emotion side was gone. It was more about a respect factor at this point.
Micah talking about like a lack of respect bothers me because he was the one going and doing a podcast in season for the last few years and not putting his own teammates in player rankings and then laying on a training table once he got upset in the middle of albeit a preseason game, but still in the middle of a game. So it is bothering me that he's talking about any level of respect when he didn't always show it the other way than as a teammate or a player for the team. Am I being irrational here?
You are. Listen, man, this is as I state all the time on here, it's a tough business, and I think there's a certain amount of understanding that you're not always going to get what you want, whether it's the money side of it, the respect side of it. And Micah, I think, has every reason to be disappointed that he feels like he gave everything he had for 4 years to this organization. And I think all he wanted was the common courtesy of someone saying, hey, appreciate you. Unfortunately, we couldn't come to terms with how it played out. You're going to go to Green Bay. He didn't have to do this. Jerry didn't have to do this. He could have been like, no, you're going to play on the fifth-year option. If you don't want to play, we're going to fine you, or we're going to send you to Jacksonville, and I don't care if they have the money to give you a new deal. So in the long run, Jerry showed Micah some respect in the fact he traded him to a really good team and paid him. And I think had he just said, you know what, man, I hate the way this worked out for us. I hope you the best, except for that Week 4 game. I think Jerry, for as much as I think he bungled it and should have never done it, I actually think he showed Micah a lot of respect in the fact he traded him to a team that was willing to give him the extension that he felt like he deserved. Jerry didn't have to do any of that. He could have been very petty and said, nope, we're going to trade you the worst blanking team. And Dallas should have traded him to a worse team because those draft picks would be a lot better next year. So I get it, man. Feel your feelings. I don't think they're probably, but I'm not going to tell him how to feel. It's how he feels. I think he could look at this in the big picture, especially when and if Green Bay wins the Super Bowl, and he probably should say, thank you, Jera. Thank you, Jera.
Micah.
Micah Parsons has said this repeatedly, that he loves where he ended up, but he never wanted to leave Dallas in the first place. Again, do I think that Jerry Jones wanted to keep him at a certain number? I do. Do I think they might have even gotten him at a higher number, but not quite as high as the Packers paid, and been happy to keep him? I do. Yep. There's been some revisionist history here that now, Jerry didn't really want him anyway. We're better off without him. We got to fix our run defense.
I mean, they did have to do that.
They had to do what?
Fix their run defense.
Yeah, but they didn't have to get rid of him.
No, I know.
To do that.
I know.
They both can be true. They could also use a pass rusher right about now, it would appear.
Yeah, they're really only a couple of pieces on defense away from competing. A pass rusher and a corner, and they're right there. It's just pass rushers, they're really hard to find, and teams don't give them up ever.
Except in rare occasions, like they just did with your team. That's got to be tough for you to take.
Yep.
But, look, he landed in a great place. I mean, it doesn't feel great because they've haven't won their last two games. They lost one and tied one. But he's very excited about how this worked out for him. He's got nothing to be bitter about. That said, if he wants to say that he felt disrespected because he didn't hear from Jerry, it got contentious. You didn't really want to hear from him either. Let's be honest. So I can understand why that irritated you as a Cowboys fan. Whoa, Hunter.
Whoa, Nelly.
One last one here so we can manage the clock a little bit better here today. Yes, we were a team. Tonight is today, the wild card starts for Major League Baseball, and tonight on ESPN is Yankees-Red Sox. I feel like this is must-watch TV for any baseball fan, given the rivalry and they're playing in the postseason. I've been working a lot through the last weekend, so how do I go about telling my wife that there is another sports-related thing here tonight when I've been working and doing sports-related things now every single night for like the last 4 in a row?
I have the solution here, because I think it's very thoughtful of you to think your wife is going to want to go do some things, maybe non-sports related. She's missed you. You've been doing a great job with prep mania, and you're I caught a little bit of your show on my way home with the rankings last night with the small school and Edgar and Coach Sins and the whole bit. What you need to do, where does your mother-in-law live?
She's over in Racine. She was here this last weekend.
Okay, so this is very simple, Hunter. Say, hey, you know what? Your wife's name is Sarah, correct?
Yep.
Hey, Sarah, your mom really wants to come watch Yankees-Red Sox tonight at the house. We normally just go to the movies, but she is chomping to watch Cubs-Padres leading into Yankees-Red Sox. Is it cool if she comes by to watch the games? You have all your problems solved right there.
So really my problem is just that I live in the wrong part of the state.
No, have her come up.
She's not driving from Racine.
But did you ask her?
No. And I don't know
Okay.
if... Jason?
This is a tongue-in-cheek solution that Tausch
Yes,
is
I know.
here. Yeah, look, do you really want to see these? How important are these games to you?
It is when it's Yankees, Red Sox, Duke, North Carolina. I do cheer for Duke. I know people get upset about that. When it is these type of games.
Wait, your favorite teams are Duke.
He's a front runner. He's LeBron James of ESPN Madison.
No.
He is the LeBron James of ESPN Madison.
Stop.
Big Yankees fan.
Stop.
Lakers.
Stop.
Yep.
The Duke thing.
Real Madrid.
No.
European Ryder Cup
Manchester
team. Like these
City.
just all the teams that win.
No.
Yeah.
My godfather worked a number of basketball camps in the 90s with Christian Laettner and that Duke team. And
Never
then
go
when I
against
was
the family.
younger, he was like, as I started watching college basketball, telling me about Duke, and he was a fan of Duke, and it just kind of stuck.
Okay.
So it just
So
happened to also
Cowboys-
be when J.J. Redick was there and they were winning.
Cowboys, Duke. What are your other favorite teams that are
Montreal Canadiens.
No, Chicago
Edmonton Oilers
Blackhawks.
of the 80s?
Yep.
The Blackhawks, and then the Bucks and the Brewers, and then really Marquette is my favorite college basketball team.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, but when it's these big rivalry games like this, like Duke, North Carolina, like Notre Dame, USC, because I'm a big college football fan, Harvard, Yale even, I like watching those.
Harvard, Yale.
It's one of the oldest rivalries in American sports. Don't you dare disrespect the Ivy League schools.
Oh, I'm disrespecting the Ivy League schools.
You shouldn't. It's
Ivy
great
League
ball.
schools.
It's great ball?
Yeah.
It's not great.
Tausch,
ball.
didn't you
It's
almost
not.
play in the Ivy League?
Brown University recruited me in a light way. Had they offered me anything, I would have went, but they didn't, and I kind of thankful that they didn't. No.
The Ivy League games, when they are playing other Ivy Leagues, it is good football. It's entertaining. It's if they have to play
Hunter!
an actual program.
It sucks. Their football sucks. You could get into their education. You can break all that. I'll say that stadium at Harvard is boss. It is old. It's like you're back in the 1800s. I love that part. The rest of it stinks.
You're being disrespectful to great football.
We got to wrap things up. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today. Wisconsin's current struggles leaving the fan base questioning its long-term effects. Despite its recent slide, ESPN's Adam Rittenberg on why UW has and will still be a prime destination for coaches.
I think there's a lot of respect for the history that Barry has created there, and I think a lot of coaches are going to look at that as a place, man, I just need to get this thing back to its identity. I need to reconnect with the state of Wisconsin and the alumni in ways that maybe this staff has not connected as well as they could have.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store in Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common: GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's Top Prospect Camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
When you tell me I'm a wreck, you say that I'm a mess. How could you expect anything less? You latched onto me, then cried how strong you alone. I told you when you asked, I knew
that healthy debate about the quality of Ivy League football put us over the top. And you would expect it from a guy like Hunter, because after he went to Michigan, Gerald Ford went to Yale. That's it for us today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN